Oh my gosh, I've just arrived at Uga Ulagalla, which is considered one of the top luxury hotels in all of Sri Lanka. The property is surrounded by beautiful rice paddies. The focal point of the property is this historic mansion and lily pond. There's also beautiful pool villas, a great restaurant and bar, and fabulously, you're going to see peacocks, monkeys, and even elephants on this property. So let's take a tour. Uga Ulagalla is ranked as one of the top luxury hotels in all of Sri Lanka. The locally owned resort is focused around a beautiful historic mansion where you'll find the lobby and restaurants. Upon arrival, guests walk over to the left here where they have a little welcoming ceremony. So we start things off by enjoying a cool oshibori towel, and then the food and beverage staff bring over king coconut juice as well as delicious Sri Lankan crepes filled with sweet coconut. They'll then walk you over to this oil lamp where you'll light a candle, which is another step of their welcoming experience. And finally, to announce your arrival to the whole hotel, you'll pull these beautiful chimes and ring the bells. Let's take a tour of the property. So you step into the lobby. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a big pool table. So if it's ever raining during your visit, there's lots of indoor things you can do as well. There's lovely antique seating. This is the check-in counter with a square pond feature as well as a water fountain. There's lots of local art, and you'll also see these bar stools are right across from the lobby bar. The entire building is floor-to-ceiling, open concept, so it feels very breezy, and you can see from the lobby you can enjoy a drink while looking out over the gardens and the swimming pool. I took this video from the second floor restaurant, so you can see the massive swimming pool and the golf carts that will zip you around the property when you need to get to and fro. So we're hopping in a golf cart and heading to our room. The property really is massive. It spans over many acres through rice paddy fields, so you'll see why you need a golf cart to get to your room. On the left and right, we can see rice paddies. You'll see wild peacocks and monkeys, lots of animals for nature lovers. Let's take a tour of our pool villa. So this villa is on stilts. All of the properties have villas that are on stilts with the bicycles underneath, so you can always use your bicycle to get around if you'd like. This is our guide who's going to walk us into our pool villa. So once you step inside the room, you're going to see that there is a luxurious living room area, also an area to eat if you ever want to do in-room dining service with a television, and there's a coffee and tea nook and mini bar. As we run through the hallway here, you're going to see that we've got a little area to store all of your clothing, so closet space on the left, as well as a bathroom on the right with white marble. You've got a rain shower with a toilet, as well as a his and hers sink. Through the bathroom, we're going to tiptoe into the bedroom. You can see the villa is just floor-to-ceiling mirrors, so really lovely lighting. A beautiful, romantic four-poster bed, so you can see this is a perfect hotel for a honeymoon in Sri Lanka. Pull back the curtains and you'll find monkeys coming right up to you. They hang out on our porch all the time. They're very friendly. They're really just curious. And one of the days when we were walking around the villa, you could see literally, I feel like it's an entire extended family of monkeys hanging out together. It was like 100 of them. Your own private pool is located right out of the entrance, and you can see there's 2 lounge chairs and umbrella, a great way to relax on a hot day. We had an ice bucket brought to the room and enjoyed a cool, crisp glass of French Chardonnay. I just love the spa. You can see the entrance has you walking through a beautiful garden, and then as you step over here, you're gonna see there's big rocks within an actual river. It really has this like bring you back to nature vibe. Then you've got a little deck, and you skip across these stones. Look at all the beautiful foliage as you come up to the check-in desk. We're going to swing around and check out the couples room. There's just 2 treatment rooms here, so the other one is a singles treatment room. The actual spa is surrounded by floor-to-ceiling windows, so lots of natural light, a waterfall, as well as a little pond where you'll find cute little turtles hanging out for a sun bath. On a sunny day, the light reflects off the water onto the ceiling. It truly is magical. The hotel's main swimming pool is huge. It feels like an Olympic-sized pool. It's shallow in the front and then deeper at the very end here. And it's flanked on left and right with comfy lounge seating and umbrellas. You can see we got really lucky with a sunny day, and you'll often see lots of local animals hanging out here. The most frequent visitors by the pool are chipmunks, peacocks, and monkeys. The monkeys run back and forth across the back of the pool, and they really enjoy all the trees nearby. I was reading a book on a lounge chair and spotted this mother and her baby above, and then I followed them over to the trees. You can see several of the mothers have just given birth to babies. Like, look at this adorable little baby peeking his head through his mom's arms. So cute. You can see the babies cling to their mother's bellies, and just make sure to watch out when you're having lunch they don't snatch a bread roll from your basket. The hotel's all-day dining concept, Liawella, is located on the second floor of the mansion building above the lobby. You can see it's super spacious, filled with antique furniture with great views overlooking the pool as well as the gardens. Everything at the restaurant is ordered a la carte, and they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In the morning, you'll be given fresh fruit juice and a bread basket. You can order Western food like French toast, or you can select local authentic Sri Lankan feast like this crispy egg hopper, coconut roti, and a selection of delicious spicy curries. Our favorite breakfast was the egg hoppers. They've got a crunchy exterior and soft bottom topped with scrambled eggs on top. You rip it open and then just use it to scoop up delicious dal or curries. Must try when you're visiting the resort. On a hot day, they actually have these amazing vintage fans that fan right over you. At lunch, we suggest starting things off with an ice-cold pint of tiger beer. They'll bring a bread basket. You can order local dishes or Western fare. So this was their delicious Sri Lankan chicken curry, as well as firecracker prawns, which were super delicious. We also got a Caesar salad one day with their signature beef burger topped with smoked cheese and frites. Kamatha is the resort's most famous restaurant. It's quite magical. You arrive on a golf cart down this pathway, which is flanked by romantic tiki torches. The restaurant is located surrounded by rice paddies, and sometimes you can even spot elephants and monkeys walking by. The alfresco concept is made to make you feel like you're actually eating in a Sri Lankan village. So there's thatched huts. Our chef showed us some of the unique implements and cooking tools they use in Sri Lankan cuisine. This is our cook preparing 25 different dishes, so every guest tries 25 bowls of Sri Lankan deliciousness. This is her showing us how they collect and remove the coconut from the shell, also how they make sambals and grind different items. We got a tour inside, so it's a traditional Sri Lankan kitchen. See, all these clay pots are filled with all of the different dishes that they prepared for us to try that evening. We were absolutely so excited. You're going to see a lot of pumpkin, chicken, and seafood. The dishes weren't too spicy. They used lots of coconut milk here. There's also some spicy sambals, 3 different rice dishes that we got to try. Look at that steaming deliciousness. We also had some sweet potato, and everything is cooked over a cinnamon wood-fired stove. Just amazing. So my sister's sitting out here on the patio. Just to the right, you'll see that they do have a bar. You get a complimentary arak cocktail. Arak is a local spirit made with coconut, and they paired it with some lime, and it really kind of almost tasted like a whiskey sour. We're starting off the dinner with their signature snack. So we're sipping our cocktail, and they have all these deep-fried root vegetables and a delicious dip that was made with curry leaf, tamarind, and coconut. I kept thinking, oh my gosh, they need to sell this in Canada. It would be so popular. The arak cocktail was served with dehydrated lime, lots of ice, and super frothy, really thirst-quenching. Delicious. The 25 bowls arrive on platters that they then assemble onto your table. My favorite dishes were the grilled chicken, the pineapple and banana curry, as well as the dal. You can eat it with rice as well as string hoppers. This is our team. This is our fully packed table. So just take a look and try to guess at what all these different dishes are. That brown one in the middle is a mutton curry. Oh my goodness, there's so many tropical flavors in here. I just love how in Sri Lanka they use tropical fruit in their curries. Your plate is a wicker basket with a banana leaf, and you're just encouraged to scoop all of the different treats and enjoy them. Once you've finished eating with your hands, they have a little fountain that you can use a waterfall to clean your hands off before you get ready for the dessert course. If you're looking for something sweet, they have treacle with buffalo yogurt and fresh tropical fruit. Now let's hop on a golf cart and check out some of the fun things to do at the resort. If you're an animal lover, you're going to have to visit the Elephant Research Center. Anyone can come in here to talk to the local guides who will explain the local animals that live in the area. They have a night camera that photographs animals at night, so you can see some of the unique animals you wouldn't see during the day. The hotel does an amazing job at supporting local communities by installing water filtration systems so all the locals have access to clean water, but they also focus on studying and supporting the elephant population nearby. So they have a book that they photograph and include notes every time an elephant is sighted. And then they also have profiles on each elephant, so you can look at its ear and different markings, including its back, to get an idea of the different names of the elephant. There are elephants that have been injured, and this is a video showcasing how the team actually fed an injured elephant watermelons because it was becoming really, really hungry. If you also are a horse lover, they have a stables. One of the coolest experiences you can have at the resort is a horseback riding experience where you actually head to the local lake and go swimming with horses. I've done this in Jamaica on a beach, but doing it in a lake surrounded by wild jungle is super cool. You can see some of the pictures of past guests who have gone for a swim with the horses on the property. The horse stables are located near the rice paddies on the way to the villas. The signature experience is a safari drive to a local lake. The entire experience takes around 3 hours. You'll drive through a local village. You'll see all the beautiful rice paddies. We even spotted a local farmer seeding the rice paddies. So you'll see that he grabs the seeds from his pouch and throws them across the wet mud, and there's also some rice paddy workers who are heading home after a long day. You can actually get an appreciation for how locals live. They have humble homes located on their farms where they will have an outdoor area for cooking as well as for the family to sit and relax. The clothes are usually hung on long lines to dry outdoors, and a really great way just to experience local Sri Lankan life. We saw a farmer who was herding his cattle. These big cows are absolutely hilarious. They just eat everything in sight, so they really like all of the grass on the side of the road. There's also water buffalo, so these are water buffalo that are just grazing along a field. We also spotted hundreds of them passing us during the safari experience. It had just poured rain for a week, so our experience on this 4x4 was pretty wild. We are literally driving through a lake. The water is up to the wheels. Quite the adventure. You'll see lots of herons and tropical birds. The sun is just starting to set here, and you can see the mountains in the background. It's absolutely so romantic. The special treat is the champagnes at snacks. So once you get to the lake, they'll set up these safari chairs and table filled with a platter of fresh fruit, olives, sandwiches, nuts, and a bottle of champagne. Oh my goodness. If you're looking to celebrate a special honeymoon or anniversary, make sure to book this experience and don't tell your partner because it's a really nice surprise. You'll finish a whole bottle of champagne while looking out into the sunset. We got very lucky because my sister actually spotted an elephant in the lake in the distance, so we kind of grabbed our binoculars. You can see the elephant to the left of the rock there. He was just enjoying a really amazing lake shower. You can see he's throwing that water from his trunk onto his back. What an amazingly magical end to the day. Anuradhapura is located just 30 minutes drive from the hotel. It is one of the most famous religious and historic sites in the country. It is the oldest capital of Sri Lanka, so it's really a must visit if you're visiting northern Sri Lanka. And the hotel will provide a local guide to take you through the property and visit all of the different shrines and Buddhist temples. Here we started our visit, and you'll see lots of locals were lining up to purchase fresh flowers to offer up at the shrine. This was the main temple with a seated golden Buddha, where you can see locals are coming to offer up their flowers. There's local volunteers that then clear away the flowers and recycle them. Outside of the temple, you'll see most people are wearing white. It's traditional in Buddhism because it signifies simplicity and purity. Everyone in this lineup is holding a gift that they want to bring, so it's everything from these elaborate fans and umbrellas to simple baskets filled with fresh flowers. These are families that are coming here, and you can see everyone lines up and then passes the items by hand to the shrine. This is, again, another video of how long the lineup is to bring all of these items to the temple. There's plenty of incense outside the temple, as well as local shopkeepers who are selling beautiful flowers that people can then donate. Our next stop was the beautiful white stupa. It's covered in stucco. I'm going to leave you for a second to let you listen to the beautiful procession as we arrived. The massive white stupa is by far the most visited attraction within the ancient city. We ran into this monk who was incredibly friendly and generous. He said hello, asked us where we were from, and gave us these fresh flowers so that we could place them in the shrine. Just at the front of the white stupa, you're going to see a temple that you can walk right into. This is a series of sculptural Buddhas. The central one here is one that's sleeping. On the left, there is a sculptural elephant and all of these historic soldiers. We're going to donate the flower right there onto the table. You can see all the fresh flowers that are laid at the front of the Buddha. Outside, if you're a flower lover, you're really just going to love visiting this temple complex. There were just tables upon tables of fresh cut flowers, and they're organized in these beautiful designs. Our next stop was hopping in a tuk-tuk, classic transportation in Sri Lanka, and really fun to zip around because it's a hot day and you get that wind. Our second stop was a temple famous for being the oldest temple in Sri Lanka. So this was the first that was built in the ancient city. You'll see and spot more Buddhist shrines with lots of flowers. We can walk in a clockwise direction around the stupa to experience more of those little shrines. You can also run and skip across the sand, which is quite hot, to step up into this ruin area, and through that door frame you can see another beautiful stone-seated Buddha, which is meditating. Our next stop was a historic village. So these are just the ruins of former buildings. People visit this area because it's famous for this beautiful sculptural, what our guide said was essentially a doormat. It's the oldest in Sri Lanka, and you can see they have all of these intricate animal carvings. All throughout the area, you'll see families of cows. They have no farmers around. They're just walking and enjoying their lives in the 40-degree heat. Another must-see is this pool area where we were told this is where monks would swim and bathe. It was only an area for the religious elite, so locals would use the rivers outside of the property. This is our final stop. It is the largest stupa. It's brown, and at one point it was the largest brick building in the world when it was built, which is a fun fact. They also have a shrine here. You can actually step past the glass in this area. So you'll see a sleeping Buddha as well as plenty of other Buddhas. Located just 1 hour south of the hotel is the Dambulla Royal Cave Temple. It is one of the most visited attractions in Sri Lanka, an absolute must. There are thousands of steps to get to the top, so if you have leg problems, there is not an elevator, and perhaps you should just look at pictures, because you're definitely going to get a workout walking up here. You've got stone steps with monkeys that are curious to say hello. As you get closer to the top of the cave temple, you'll see they actually have ancient steps that are carved right into the rock, which is kind of cool. Once you've bought your ticket and stored your shoes, you can skip over to this white building. You see it's located right under a huge rock. There's beautiful lily ponds in the area as well. And you're going to visit 5 different caves that have huge Buddhas, like hundreds of Buddha statues. Get excited to walk through these with me. So this was the first room that you arrive into, and it's one of the smallest, so it's really impressive, and it almost like builds as you visit more and more caves. They get larger and more impressive. There's ancient painted murals inside the cave. Let's then take a look from the other end. This is the head of the Buddha, and you can see that there are plenty of tourists that are popping in to take a look as we are about to leave and walk into the next cave. The next cave was a bit of mid-size. They've got more elaborate murals that lasted because they didn't have as much water damage. And then there's just like this choir of golden Buddhas, absolutely out of this world. It feels like you've stepped back 1,000 years in time. Just so cool. This is the third room that we entered. The cave is actually not as cool as you expected. They're actually quite hot. The last 2 caves are the most photographed and impressive. They are covered in murals, what seems like hundreds of Buddhas, both seated, standing, reclining. You just have to visit Uga Ulagalla. If you're a luxury hotel lover, it's an award-winning property. There's so much to do on the property. The food is excellent. The accommodations are top-notch. And as you can see, there's plenty of fun things to do if you're a history buff, art nerd, or curious about local religious Buddhist practices. I'm going to leave you here. Enjoy the rest of this video and tiptoe through these ancient Buddhist cave temples.